ladies and gentlemen. This is what we've all come for, the 250 championship main event. The big race of the night is at the gate. The 20 fastest men in the field, all trying to do something with Jeremy McGrath, who has dominated this 1993 season, and tonight can set the all-time record for victories in a single campaign. It's just unbelievable that a rookie, a first-year racer against all the big guns, has been able to upset the apple cart so thoroughly and so effectively. Now, the burning issue, can he get another hole shot here tonight?
I don't think so. Hole shots have not been his forte as of late.
Are we paying this guy?
He wrapped up the championship one race ago, Pasadena, California at the Rose Bowl. And he has been so consistent all year long, going to the front immediately. And guess what? Guess what? Here comes number 15 out of the center of the pack, and he did it one more time. Unbelievable. He's had like, what, 12, 13? Cliff Palmer knows what it's like to be on the other end, but he's had like 12 or 13 hole shots this year. It's an unbelievable performance. Being pushed right now by the defending champ, Jeff Stanton, and making it a Honda sweep up front, Steve Lamson, who is showing no respect for Stanton. He takes the measure of Jeff as he goes to the outside, takes over the number 2 position.
Guy Cooper is fourth on number 7, now challenged by number 12, Jeff Matasevich, who got a great start. Matasevich had to ride the semifinal. It's all red up front. McGrath, Stanton, Lamson, Matasevich, Cooper, your top 5. Rest of the field streaming through. And boy, this has got to make the other teams nuts to see all those Hondas out front. Matasevich, riding like a man possessed, is after Lamson for 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, it's still, though, up front is where the action is. Jeremy McGrath trying to pull away as he has done. Here's his secret, Dave. The first couple 3 laps, he just burns the competition, and unfortunately, Denny Stevenson burned himself with a little bit of a spill. That's going to put him way off the pack. Color him gone from this one. Back to McGrath. He gives 110, 115%, really hangs it out while everyone else is sorting themselves out. Now, they have figured this out, and they're trying to keep up with him, but Jeff Stanton admittedly is a slow starter. He says, you know, it takes me 3, 4 laps before I really get underway in a race, and by that time, McGrath is gone. So he's trying to do something a little bit different tonight. He's trying to hang with him, and he's doing it. Whoops. There goes Lamson.
Right, Steve. Right. Steve Lamson hangs the left, got the front wheel out of shape through the whoops, took a left, lost a bunch of spots. So now it's McGrath and his championship rival early in the year, Jeff Stanton, alone out front. The 3rd member of the Honda team has fallen off the pace. Point, Larry, I think, is that they all talk about doing that. They all tell you how important the start is, but the only man who's been able to deliver this year is McGrath. Now, this is the Matasevich-Cooper battle now for 3rd place with the temporary demise of Lamson, who took a wrong turn at the end of the whoop-de-doo section. Well, I tell you, getting Cooper up on the box would be a big thing for the fans here in San Jose. We'll be back to see if he can do it. We're back at Spartan Stadium, and we're watching Jeff Matasevich, number 12, and Guy Cooper, number 7, the Suzuki teammate. But note behind him, number 16, Doug Henry, who turned in such an impressive charge earlier this evening in the heat race to make this main event, and now says, don't like seeing Suzuki's in front of me. The Honda rider gasses it up. He's alongside Cooper, who kind of doing it Saturday night short track style, all crossed up, turning right rather than left, but nonetheless, skidding that back end around. He makes one pass, and now looks inside for the move on Matasevich, and definitely man on the charge is Doug Henry.
Oh, the impressive move was cutting back to the inside. There, look at this. There was and there was another impressive move. He managed to go down with style and grace, and he did that flat track style.
Exactly. He was turning left that time and just lost the rear end. She skidded right on around, and he ends up facing the wrong direction.
You suppose he's in the wrong sport? Maybe he ought to be out there with Parker and the other dirt trackers.
Well, you'll be seeing them, of course, after the Supercross series concludes here on ESPN. You won't see Jeremy McGrath anymore. He'll be off to the National Championship Wars. And here's a guy we haven't seen nearly as much of as we expected this year. Damon Bradshaw struggling back in the field, battling once again with Brian Swing.
Go figure. 1992, the guy captured 9 checkered flags. He's won 2 times this year, but he has not been a threat, a real threat all season long. What happens to a rider between a great season like he had just 1 year ago and really the disaster that he's into this year?
Well, when the championship slipped away, it seemed the motivation went with it. And, of course, there's also that old story that it's easy to go fast and it's hard to go slow. When you're going slow and things aren't working, you work harder than any other time in the business. When it's all dialed in like this, man, he'll tell you these races are easy to win. The bike works, everything's fine. You just go out and ride it around, and you cut record laps every week.
Concentration, total concentration. Jeremy McGrath has just ripped the racetracks apart from one end of the country to the other. Right now, the only rider hanging tough with him is Jeff Stanton. And Stanton has been there off and on throughout the year. Third place belongs to Matasevich. Guy Cooper running in the number 4 slot. Everyone cheering Cooper. They want this guy to win. The word, as I said, has trickled down that might be Cooper's last season. He's never won a Supercross main event, and everyone wants to see it. I think the 3 guys in front of him would not even be disappointed if Cooper would have passed him and take the win.
Cooper is that popular and has good speed here this evening. He's been third before. He's been second before, but he's never won one. Right now, he's working on Matasevich for third spot. And we're getting glimpses of number 3, Mike Kudrowski, who's back in 5th. And he's been a bit disappointed here tonight as well, although overall, his 93 Supercross season has been quite good. Scored a couple of victories and contended for the championship.
I'm reminded while we're watching these 2 riders, we go back a couple of years, and Cooper had an opportunity to win on 2 occasions. They were back-to-back, and guess who took him out both times? Jeff Matasevich. Yeah, he should, and he should be doing a little bit of damage there, but he's not. He had an opportunity to put the wheels in and do some block passing, but see, he's letting Matasevich off the hook. And that's not the way to do it. With a guy like Jeff or any other rider, you have to take control. No more finesse. You got to pull your way through. We'll be back to see if he gets the job done right after this.
Who will stand on the podium and spray the champagne at Spartan Stadium tonight? Well, this is for the last podium spot. Number 12, Jeff Matasevich, seemingly down on the inside in every turn. And Guy Cooper, number 7, outside in the air, always spectacular, trying to pull out the last podium spot.
I'll tell you what, we had a shot of the big number 3, and it was looming rather large in the background of Mike Kudrowski. So if they continue to battle each other, to block each other. See, when they do that, they're not making that much progress. They're not getting anywhere. Matasevich blocking, Cooper looking for paces to pass, and the rest of the field is catching them.
Ooh, how about Cooper going down to the inside, couldn't quite get there. You, of course, implicitly advocating that Cooper should take Matasevich out here.
He should.
Guy
he should. I'm sorry, they're teammates, you know, and he's all over Matasevich. He's clearly faster. Matasevich should either A, move over, let Cooper by, or B, Cooper should say, I've had enough, and park Matasevich. I'll guarantee you this. If the positions were reversed, Cooper would have been parked about 3 laps ago, and Matasevich would be the first one to admit it.
I'm not about to get in the middle of this discussion.
It's okay. Listen, it's okay, Dave, when you've got a Kawasaki behind you to block as much as you can. Keep the guy back there. But when your teammate is there, you're preventing him from moving ahead and capturing one of the positions from the big red machines that are up front. And I promise you, see there, I promise you, Matasevich is holding, see, he's holding all of the lines on the inside. He's not giving Cooper any kind of a chance. And Jeff Matasevich would be the first to tell you that, hey, I'm out there to win races, so is he. And if he has to park me to get the job done, well, that's what he needs to do, because I would do it to them. Nothing against it, you know. I mean, that's just the way he rides.
They're going to both find themselves in trouble from that green Kawasaki.
Yes, they are. And that is the problem. They're slowing the pace. And look, here comes Mike Kudrowski. Here comes Damon Bradshaw. So you think you had trouble 2 laps ago? Now you got major problems.
Cooper continues to try to find a way by as Bradshaw goes around Kudrowski. Bradshaw would like to have a piece of Matasevich. I guarantee you that.
Oh, yeah.
But he'll try to get up there and catch him.
I promise you that he will be very polite, just like Guy Cooper.
Yeah, you bet. Here's Cooper trying again. He's got a good line through that jump this time. Pulls it off.
Got the job done. He should have done. He should have had that pass made 4, maybe 5 laps ago.
Listen to this crowd. They go crazy for Guy Cooper. And one of the reasons they love him is that he won't take the other guy out. He'll find another way to make it work, just as he did with Matasevich. He's top 3. Matasevich falls to 4th. And now he's going to have Damon Bradshaw and Mike Kudrowski to contend with. And I guarantee you they're not likely to be as gentle as was Guy Cooper. Matasevich coming back.
And you saw Matasevich had his mind to park Cooper. He was trying for a block pass there. He'll do anything to get back. Dave, it's racing. I'm not advocating dirt out there. I'm talking about racing, and that's what it's all about.
All right, here's Matasevich under pressure now from Bradshaw. These two collided on a couple of occasions last year. Bradshaw tried the move in the same place he saw Cooper do it, couldn't pull it off. We'll be back to see who's going to finish fourth after this timeout. We're back in Spartan Stadium as the laps wind down for Guy Cooper, Jeff Matasevich, Damon Bradshaw, and Mike Kudrowski. All of them racing for third, fourth, fifth, and sixth positions on the racetrack. The tightest battle right now is Bradshaw and Kudrowski. Mike coming alive in the late laps here, seeing the opportunity created by that little chess game between Matasevich and Cooper that was ultimately won by Cooper.
Up front, of course, is our race leader McGrath, followed by Stanton and Bradshaw wanting to get up there with him. Laps are winding down. There's not a lot of time left if Bradshaw wants to be a factor. If any of the riders want to be a factor, they have to make a move and make it quickly. And I really don't see that happening right now, with the exception of Guy Cooper, who is putting on some kind of a charge and has been since the drop of the gate. And that is the real reason the fans love this guy. He'll do anything to make a pass, anything to get by the guy in front of him, and he usually does it in spectacular. Oh, and Doug Dubach.
Oh. Dubach went end over end. Cooper crashed into him. Todd DeHoop is involved, and so too is Jeff Matasevich. A huge pile-up here, triggered by the endo for Doug Dubach. Well, that takes Cooper and Matasevich out of the battle for third and fourth. Cooper's back and underway. DeHoop is a little bit shaken. Matasevich is on his feet, and we'll have to get another look at that. Wow, when the lappers go tumbling in the middle of the leaders, it means trouble for everybody.
It looked like Dubach might have come up a little bit short there and cased that jump. What that means, watch Doug Dubach right there. No, I don't know if he cased it or what he did. I guess he just went over the handlebars. That's all I could see from that angle. He went over the bars, and the rest of them plowing into him. They're all quickly up. Damage is done. Cooper's back out on the racetrack. Matasevich headed for the pit, said, I've had enough of this. That's going to be history. Bradshaw, meanwhile, moves up to the number 3 position, so he got a break out of that whole thing.
Yeah, indeed. It looked like Bradshaw found the best line through the carnage, although Kudrowski handled it pretty well. He just jumped right over. Cooper is down again. Could be something wrong with the motorcycle, crash damage related, or it might just be Cooper trying too hard.
Yeah, Cooper has a history of that. He'll take a crash, try to get back as hard as he can, and he'll come right back and do it again.
Jeremy McGrath is your leader. We'll be back to see if he can wrap up another victory here tonight. Back in Spartan Stadium, the battle is on for 5th spot, and the man who has come up to join that battle is number 19, Brian Swink. As a matter of fact, he's got some company in the form of Michael Rocco, and they have elected to make Mike Kudrowski's life a little miserable in the last 2 or 3 laps of this race.
Let's just set it up quickly. McGrath, Stanton, Bradshaw hold the first 3 positions, and here we go for 4th. It's Kudrowski, Swink, and LaRocco, a battle royal. They're just hammering each other as the laps are winding down.
Well, when it gets late in the year and you've got a factory contract to protect, the team manager would like to see a little bit of aggression, particularly if he hasn't seen much all season long.
By the way, do you have your contract signed for next year? How can we be aggressive up here in the booth?
Number 19, Swink, bearing in mind, was the Eastern Region champion, the counterpart on this side of the country of Jeremy McGrath. Jeremy McGrath came here, won everything in sight. Brian Swink's been lucky to get in the top 5.
Now, there the similarities ended when you said was championships on both of those coasts. Swink has not had a good year. I have to say he's had a disappointing year. 1 second place he's had this year, and he chased McGrath in that one, and was not able to quite get the job done. Looked like he turned the corner, went nowhere. Here comes LaRocco. Wow, what a drive LaRocco got to the inside of Swink. He managed to hold it in without sliding out. He takes over now, the number 4, number 5 position. Kudrowski 4th, LaRocco 5th, drops Swink back to 6th.
Well, when you talk about hopes and the outcomes of seasons, you have to think about LaRocco, who won the season opener 2 years in a row, and both years struggled. This year, the reason was a broken wrist. LaRocco appears to be back in pretty good form here as he tries to score a top 5 finish in this next to last race of the year.
And because it is the next to last race of the year, he's comfortable in challenging Mike Kudrowski. Kudrowski in second place in the championship standings does not have a prayer as we watch McGrath on the final lap of winning the title. That was decided 1 week ago, so now it's open season. Whoa, and Kudrowski goes down LaRocco gets a good drive through the inside, manages to avoid the carnage, and he takes over the number 4 position. Kedrowski quickly up. Well, that was quick all the way around.
Kedrowski got into the back of Damon Bradshaw, which makes the point that you were making. Whenever it is in the season, go forward. Get around the guy in front of you. The next position up is better in some form, whether it be prize money or contract or whatever. Try to get to this guy. Try to figure out a way to run down this rookie.
I'll tell you what, look, there's Jeff Stenton. That's as close right there. That is as close as anyone has been to him all year long. So either he slacked off or Stanton has picked up the pace with just a couple of races to go in the season.
I'll bet you tonight's paycheck that he has slacked off and slowed down. He's got the checkered flag in hand. Nobody has ever won 10 in a season. Jeremy McGrath did it here tonight. LaRocco got close to Bradshaw at the finish line. The fact that Jeremy's challengers were within sight of him at the checker tonight is entirely a commentary on how thoroughly he has controlled the pace not only of this race but of most of the races this year. Jeremy McGrath has won a record 10th victory in this 1993 season. Listen to the crowd.
They were side by side. Jeremy's looking over at Jeff and saying, good race. Jeff really didn't acknowledge that much because he made no obscene gestures. He just got moved right on through. So top 5, McGrath, Stanton, Bradshaw, LaRocco, and Brian Swink holding on for 5th.
Kedrowski, Lusk, Lamson, Ward, and Henry wrap up the top 10. Let's hear from him again, ladies and gentlemen.
Jeremy, you won the championship. You just set a new record for wins in a single season. Do you have any other goals this year, may I ask?
Well, I guess my next goal is to win some more outdoor races. You know, I won one this year, and I'm looking forward to doing a little bit better in that series.
All right,
All right, he still has goals ahead as he wraps up this championship and the class record. Let's hear from tonight's race runner-up, Jeff Stanton.
Jeff, it seemed like this was a course that seemed to gobble a lot of people up.
Yeah, it did. It was tough. It was slippery. You know, after that mud got pushed off, it got really slippery. Pretty gnarly. It was ruddy. Everybody had to ride the same course.
Well, you guys had a consistency that wouldn't quit, though.
Yeah, Jeremy set a good pace, and I just got in behind him. Wanted to be a little closer to him, but I just couldn't reel it in. Seems like I'd start reeling it in, and I'd make a mistake. So starting all over for me. The championship's over. I look just rebuilding for next year.
And so the final challenge of the evening. Larry Myers, can you think of something new to say about Jeremy McGrath's supremacy?
Well, they have said that Jeremy McGrath, when he reaches 10 wins, will have set a record that will never be broken in a single season. I predict that he will win 11 next week, and that'll be the record that'll be tough to do.
I haven't seen any sign otherwise. McGrath at the top of the podium again. We'll be back next week to see if he can make it 11. For Bob Hanna, Art Ekman, and Larry Myers, I'm Dave Spain. See you next week.